And you have to have it in you. I say in business, some people have it and some people don't. I really think we have a lot of value to provide in what relates to social media and the internet and marketing and so on and so forth. You will never amount to more than what you aspire to do.
Welcome back. We're at the biggest real estate expo here in New York City. I got my guy George Castro in the building. Let's go.
How are you doing?
Let's go. Real estate chill. You know where we're at. How you doing, man?
How are you doing? I'm doing great, Kevin. How about you?
Pleasure to have you back, bro.
Likewise. Thank you.
You excited?
I'm pumped.
Oh, man, I'm excited too, man. There's so many people here in attendance, bro.
We're packed today. I didn't think there was going to be as many people as there is.
I know.
It's a phenomenal event. We're packed. We have thousands of people here. I was just watching Ryan Serhant speak in the room that we're going to be speaking in, and it was absolutely incredible. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I know you brought the whole crew out. We got the paparazzi. We got the TMZ out.
Yeah.
We got TMZ out. This feels presidential.
It does. And I am next to a star right now. Right now we're talking, but we're going to be on the stage. And I know we're going to be packed because I'm going to be next to you, and you're the star here.
Nah, you're a star as well, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be speaking with you, and I'm excited just to be here in the event, bro.
Yeah.
It's a big accomplishment, you know?
Yes, it is. And this is just the beginning. I know it's just the beginning for you, just the beginning for me. And this is going to become a normal reoccurrence. I really think we have a lot of value to provide in what relates to social media and the internet and marketing and so on and so forth. And I think we're going to impress a lot of people.
Let's give them a bright taste of, what we're getting into. How big is social media for you? Because I know you have a huge following.
Social media for me is huge. I think now more than ever with the Instagram and these money things.
The money keeps going. The money keeps going.
I think nowadays with Instagram, with Facebook, I think your personal brand and building your personal brand through social media is more important than ever before. Ryan Serhant was talking about it on his panel, where you not only need to target, let's say, the adults or the people making the decision whether it's selling or buying a home, but you also need to target the kids and the executive wealth managers, so on and so forth, because that's the circle of influence, influencing the people who are ultimately making the decision. And I think social media, whether it be Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn, and now there's so many other platforms, needs to be used in order to grow your brand, to expand your circle of influence, and to eventually create more business.
I completely agree. Look, I got a listing appointment, and it wasn't even the seller who was following me. It was the seller's sister who follows me on Instagram. I said, you got to use this guy. He's from Queens. He's from this area. He speaks Spanish. They speak Spanish. And I went to the appointment, and they have to buy and sell. So I could just imagine if we weren't on social media, on all these platforms, we'd miss out on all these opportunities.
And you know what? I see so many people on social media that have so much potential, whether it be speaking or business acumen or whatever it may be. But if they knew how to use social media and the internet to project themselves the right way, they would be stars, people with so much potential. And I'm going to talk about that on the panel. Social media is huge because your brand is the perception given off of you. And the only way to reach that next level and the only way to get noticed and to open up your opportunities is through social media, because that's your brand and you are a walking image of your brand. So I think it's super, super important. More so nowadays. It's going to start becoming more important now with the AI and with the advances in technology. So I think everybody should be taking advantage of it.
Let me ask you a question because, look, we're business owners, right? You're the face of your brand. I'm the face of my brand. Do you ever get a lot of hate, like a lot of people who hate on you because you're young or anything in general? Like, you're smiling.
That's a good question.
I see.
I would say when you're young, it's much more difficult, whether it be social media or whether it be in the business, and I'll tell you why. When you're young, the perception of somebody who's young may not be as serious as somebody who's old. But I also don't think that it should be a barrier. I think if you're well-spoken, I think if you're smart, and if you present yourself the proper way, I think people will take you seriously as they would if somebody who's 30 or 40 or 50. And there's a saying that goes, people only throw stones at the tree that bears fruit. So whether you be young or whether you be old, I think if people are hating on you, quote unquote, or if people are throwing stones at you, you're probably doing something right. But I relish in it. I embrace it. At the end of the day, I have more time than anybody else, but it's something that needs to be taken advantage of. but your age shouldn't be a barrier. I always say, and we have a lot of young people in our office, and I talk to a lot of young people, and they say, how am I going to get somebody who's selling a 5, a 6, or a $20 million home to take me seriously when there's agents that are much more seasoned in the business, whether it be 20 or 30 years, that are much older than I am. And when you're young, you have to be much sharper, you have to be much smarter, you have to be much more knowledgeable than somebody who's been in the business that amount of time because of your age. So that should be motivation for you to be much better than anybody else. But you have to be much smarter. You're dealing with a lot of smart people. You're dealing with experience. So you have to work that much harder. But it can be used to your advantage.
I agree. Look, I think haters are motivators, and it just makes you stronger, right? It makes you have to have thick skin, especially if you're putting yourself out there. There's going to be comments about everything, positive, negative. There's nothing you can do about it. Internet trolls are undefeated, you know? Have you ever had somebody that say, like, all right, because you're editing, I mean, shout out to your team. They do an amazing job, right? It's all focused on you to make you look like the $1 million star that you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, do you ever get any backlash of that? Do you ever get any backlash of, like, it's too much of you?
Not really, to be honest with you. I probably don't pay attention to it enough because I really don't care about those who criticize. Normally, the people who criticize Kevin are the ones not doing anything.
I completely agree
if somebody's criticizing you or if somebody's speaking foul on you, they're probably not doing anything. I don't really care. I'm on my path. I know what I'm doing. And I know the way media works. I know you have to brand yourself as do you with the photos and the videos and the camera in building your brand. So I don't really pay too much mind to it. In this business, you have to have thick skin and you have to be tough because it's a very cutthroat business. And as you start scaling and as you start growing, which I'm in the process of doing right now, you have to be that much tougher. So I relish in it. I enjoy it.
Let me ask you a question. You accomplished amazing things, right? At such a young age, have you had that moment? It's like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, this is really happening. Like, I want to hear about that moment for you.
I always knew what I wanted to do. Sometimes I have moments. I'd be lying if I say I didn't. I think today's going to be one of those moments where I say to myself, you're also very young. I'm probably the youngest person in this room, and I'm speaking on stage with people who have 20 or 30 years of experience. Sometimes I have the moments, but at the same time, you need to stay poised, you need to stay collected, and you need to know that that's the path that you've been working for. You do the work, and the work will take care of you. So I have those moments at times, not really, because I know what the end goal is, I know what I want to accomplish, and I know this is just a stepping stone in reaching the ultimate goal that I want to reach.
So you're in Jersey right now. I know you want to branch into New York City. I see the New York City post, man. I see you're planning the New York City takeover. What does that look like for you?
We're one of the biggest offices in New Jersey. We're doing luxury in New Jersey, but I think if you're going to do anything of substance, I think you should do it at the highest level. And New York
100%.
is the capital of the world. There's no place like New York, whether it be price point or whether it be the people that you deal with. If you want to do business, now you're dealing with a lot of killers. I mean, in the upper stratus, you're dealing with a lot of tough people, smart people. But that's what I want to do. I want to do it at the highest levels. I want to expand to Manhattan. I want to be the one selling those penthouses worth 20, 30, 40 million dollars.
I can see that, man. I can see that happening.
I will get there. But at the same time, I like construction. I like development. So I'd like to be one of the biggest developers. We spoke about this on the podcast in New York, construction, development. I like entertainment. You know, I'm a businessman. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm a New York kid. I love New York.
So for those who don't know how old you are, how young are you?
I'm 22 years old.
22 years old?
22 years young.
Yeah, man,
say.
you're crushing it, bro.
Yeah.
You're crushing it. This is an amazing accomplishment, just being here in attendance, you know, speaking on the panel. Big names like Ryan Serhant speaking, Bob Knackle. I mean, these are guys who have big brands and who have accomplished amazing things, and just the experience behind them is on another level, you know?
Yeah, as are you. And I was talking
that.
about it off panel. We were talking about it. But the amount of consistency, it's impressive. Because I've seen so many people, even people who are wealthy and people, and they try doing a podcast, they do 5, 10 shows, they fail, and they go down to the tubes. The amount of consistency that you've amounted and the discipline, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's very, very impressive, and it's incredible, honestly. And I know eventually you're probably going to be one of the biggest podcasts because you have the drive, you have the discipline, and you've been very, very consistent.
I appreciate that, man. You gotta have the hunger to do anything. You know, you gotta have the drive, the want, the burning desire to succeed in anything you want to do. And I always say there's no walls that I can't break down. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of faith in God, and I think, you know, you and I are performing at high levels for a reason. You know, it's just in our DNA, it's in our character, it's who we are. You know, we don't like to sit still. We like to make things happen. We like to put deals together. We like to meet new people and make money and take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to us.
And you have to have it in you. You know, I say in business, some people have it and some people don't. I don't know if it's something you're born with. I think to a certain extent it is. I don't know if you could develop it, but some people have it and some people don't. And you have very smart people, very intelligent, but they get to a certain level and they just don't have it. They can't succeed. And they'll do very well, perhaps working as an employee or doing something else, and they live a good life and there's no issue with that. But some people have it and some people don't, and that's the beauty of it.
I always say this. I say there's two things that you can't teach. That's hunger and hustle. It's either in you or it's not. You know, and thankfully you and I, we have both. You know, we're hungry and we hustle.
And I see you 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I follow you. And I say, boxing, how many people at 4 in the morning? You have to have drive and you have to have grit. When the alarm clock sounds and it's 4:30 in the morning, you have to have not only the determination, but the vision of the ultimate goal in order to do it consistently every day.
In anything you do, you have to have that mental toughness.
Yeah, and you're 4:30 in the morning boxing, getting ready for the day, and you're probably in your office by 7 in the morning.
Putting deals together, man, making it happen. If you could leave us off with one thing, bro, what would you give as far as to advice anybody who's looking to do something great?
I think you need to think big. You need to think big. You will never amount to more than what you aspire to do. If you want to make $10 million, or if you want to build a company worth $20 million, you, for the most part, will never amount to more than what you aspire for. So you need to think big. And I say, if you're going to think at all, if you're going to waste your time thinking, you might as well think big, because that could be the difference between you making $10 million or $100 million. What's the difference between doing a deal worth $1 million and a deal worth $10 million? It's the way that you think and the way that you carry yourself. So I think you need to think big. You need to aim high. There's a saying that says, aim for the moon and you'll land among the stars. Yeah. But it's all in thinking big. And as I said, there's many people with so much potential that I think could be stars, but they're stuck because they're not thinking big or they don't aspire for more. So if you walk away with anything, it's always think big and always aspire at the highest levels. And I think anyone, success to a certain point is an illusion. I think anybody can, and I'm going to talk about this on the panel, anybody can reach any level that they aspire to do. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to wake up early and read books every day and continue educating yourself? Are you willing to do what it takes? Some people are willing to do it, others aren't. But you have to think big.
I completely agree with you. I lied. That's not my last question. I want to get this last question because when you accomplish everything that you're going to accomplish, I want them to come back to this episode and say, look, he said it here first.
That's going to be incredible.
What's the end goal? What's the end goal for you, bro? 22 years young.
That's a good question, and I appreciate that question. What I want to do is I like business. I like the game. You have to love what you do. You love what you do. I love what you do, and I think if you love it, you do it better than anybody else. My end goal is I want to be a builder in New York. I want to build towers. I want to build skyscrapers. I want to build casinos. I want to be one of the biggest developers, and I will be, and builders in the United States. Amongst entertainment, I like entertainment, I like sports, I like real estate. But to answer the question, I want to be and I will be one of the biggest developers. And perhaps in the future, I wouldn't rule it out, I may do politics after I do business.
Bro,
and I think I would do one hell of a job.
I completely agree with you. I can see it. I can definitely see it. And you got a key word. He said, I will make this happen. I will make this happen.
You have to be positive. And I think your mindset is everything. If you truly, and you need to truly build, you can't fake it. At the highest levels, you need to truly, truly believe it. And your mindset is everything. I think your mindset becomes your reality. And if you believe you will reach that point, and if you do the work necessary in order to reach those goals, I think you'll be able to do it.
I agree, bro. Yo, look, I'm looking forward to speaking with you later, bro, on the panel.
We're gonna rock the stage.
We're gonna blow it out the park, man. We're gonna blow that stage up. I appreciate you being here again. You know, I gotta come to Jersey one of these days. I gotta come to Jersey one of these days, man.
You have to.
Where can people reach out to you? Where can people follow you? Reach out if they have any questions.
You can reach out via Instagram. George Castro IV is my page. You can call me 908-875-8793, and I'm always available.
Our last episode did a lot of numbers, bro. I know this one will do too.
We have to do a part 2. We have to do a.
This is just a short teaser.
This is a part 2. We're gonna have to do a part 3.
This is just an appetizer right now.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen, bro. Again,
Awesome,
appreciate
Kevin.
you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.